Panther family, what is going on? Welcome to another episode of the Iowa State podcast. I'm your host, Mac, and I'm super excited for the guest that I have on. She's a star from the volleyball team and is looking to have another record-breaking season this year, actually starting with the Panther Invitational this weekend, August 25th and 26th. My guest is Miss Livy Kowalkowski. Thank you again, Livy, for giving me some time this afternoon. We will go ahead and get into it because I know your schedule's a little hectic right now. As I just previously mentioned, you guys are hosting that Invitational this weekend, so I can imagine it's a little hectic. But yeah, the first question is a question that all my guests get here on the Iowa State podcast. And so just super excited to hear your answer. And that's really just simply what has been your favorite part or memory or really any element you kind of want to go here. But what has been your favorite part of being a Georgia State student athlete so far?
Okay, that is a great question. I would say it definitely has to be the community. My freshman year didn't necessarily go how I had initially thought it was. A lot of things I thought that were going to happen did not. Like things I thought I wasn't going to like, I also ended up loving. So I would probably just say the community, whether it's my sports arena family, which is like JD, my weights guy, Jess, academics, Amanda, our trainer, as well as, of course, my coaches and team, but also all the other athletes, just connecting with them has been awesome. I am proud to say that I have a friend on every sports team here, except maybe golf. So sorry, golfers. But it's just a really great community to be a part of despite being spread out throughout the whole city. I mean, we've really, I think, especially last year and already this year, have made a lot of strides with bringing our athletes together, even though we, I think, have at least three different facilities that we're all part of. Definitely more than that, but yeah.
No, that's a great point. It definitely is really spread out. I've never really thought of it, so that is a great point. And I got to say, I love your answer. That's not the first time someone has said the community aspect as their answer. So I love that you guys are able to find that at Georgia State within the athletic department. So that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, cool. So we'll get into questions about you now. As Livy as a person. So we'll kind of start back at step one here, born and raised in like Orion, Michigan.
Yes.
What made you decide to bring your talents down south to Atlanta? I'm definitely curious. It's I you know what? I guess I should say there's definitely student athletes from everywhere, but definitely curious what made you decide to come to Georgia.
Yeah, so it's about like a maybe an 11-hour drive. But it is honestly amazing. I am like I love my family at home, super close with them, lots of friends. Like I'm big Detroit fan, all of that stuff. But I've always kind of had my mindset on going away from home for college, I guess. A lot of people at my high school went Michigan, Michigan State, like those types of schools where, I mean, they go there. Yes, they make other friends, but they kind of stay in the same routine of things, the same people, join the same sororities, frats, like stuff like that. So kind of always had my mind set on going out, seeing where else I can thrive. I like to think of myself as someone who can adapt. So coming down in the South, it's definitely a lot hotter than I'm used to, but I've really come to like it. And being in the city is also something I'm not really used to. I'm from like just a suburb in Michigan, but it's actually been really cool. I love the Beltline, anything like that. Every time my family comes, we kind of go out and explore, and I feel like we find something like brand new in Atlanta, which is kind of cool just because, I mean, things in Michigan can kind of get old and repetitive. So, yeah.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, no, Atlanta is this booming city that I feel like just grows and grows and grows and grows. So yeah, definitely always something to do. And I can imagine one of those visits when you came down, you're like, this is a little different than Michigan. I kind of like this. So
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So you did kind of mention your family a little bit. This next question, I feel like I was doing a disservice to myself even if I didn't ask about this. So you do come from a very athletic family with your dad playing 11 seasons in the NFL, your mom playing Division I tennis, and just about virtually every member of your family playing D1 or professional sports. So I do have to ask, has this ever caused any extra level of pressure that may not be there for someone that doesn't come from such an athletic family like yourself to excel at a high level in your sport of volleyball?
Yes, that is a great question. I'd have to say that it definitely adds some pressure, but it's mainly for myself. I mean, my family has clearly been nothing but supportive, which has been awesome. And I've grown up just kind of in this like athletic bubble almost. So if the pressure like kind of comes into the picture, it's usually for myself just because it's all that I know. Like even my best friends from home are all playing D1 volleyball. So when things kind of like get tough, I have to remind myself like that I am doing something that's pretty amazing. Not a lot of people get to say like that they do that. Maybe a lot from my family do, but like grand scheme of things, I mean, it's definitely an accomplishment just being here. But it's been amazing having those resources in my family. Kind of followed my sister's footsteps. She played Division 1 volleyball at Western Kentucky, and she had a fantastic career there. They were in the NCAA tournament quite a bit, like very decorated program. So that was really cool, just being able to follow and not her footsteps because I went a little further south than her, did a little different, but still like she kind of had gone through it, shown me like the swing of things. Then my dad, clearly he's like it was well, I'll say is because he still plays pickleball, but was in a like incredible athlete with a national championship, being a captain on like Lions, like that's pretty impressive. So sometimes like I gotta remind myself like, whoa, like this is a really great resource to have. It's not just like my dad Scott, like it's actually like a pretty famous athlete. So it adds a little bit of pressure, but it's mainly for myself just because like all my family members have done some pretty cool things. So um, I just gotta sometimes reality check, realize that what I'm doing, like even if it's a bad day, is still an accomplishment in itself, just being a part of all of this. But it's like amazing having them. They're great.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would expect they're very supportive. And, like you said, I can imagine at times when you're kind of trying to navigate through it, you're at a young age and there's got to be so many questions you have for them that they can answer pretty quickly. So that's
Yes,
that's
for
awesome.
sure.
That's cool though. That's cool. I can imagine you guys are a little competitive as a family.
Oh,
I
don't
don't have
get
any
me
questions about
started.
that. I don't want to rile up any feathers at the next family reunion.
Yeah,
But I can imagine it gets a little competitive in the Kowalkowski household.
you're correct. Yes.
So sweet. So we'll move on a little bit. We next question kind of dealing with what you're doing now at Georgia State. So you're coming off a really strong season in which you were the only Panther to play in every set and led the team in digs, which is actually third best in the entire Sun Belt. So what are some of the things you've done this offseason to ensure that you'll have an even stronger season this year?
So first, just on a like in a team perspective, I guess we have had a lot of personnel changes, even when it like comes down to assistant coaches. So we have 17 players right now. I think we have 9 returners. I don't even remember at this point. Like just lots of new blood. So one of the things that I've really tried to do is just make sure that I'm like acquainted with everyone. I understand how everyone works so that when we do get onto the court, like I know how to talk to certain people one way. I know, oh, not to say this to someone, like just things like that for our team dynamic because it's something that we've really put a lot of like time into as a team. But on a personal note, I would say that I've just really tried to hone in on my technique. I've always really like since I've been athletic, I've been able to get a result in some way or another. But this past spring, as well as summer, because our report date was June 4th, so we were here grinding in the summer. But I've really tried to make sure that I can get the result with the proper form and process. So that was a little frustrating trying to break some old habits, but I can say confidently that I'm very happy with where it's at right now. In our scrimmage against Mercer this past Saturday, it was nice to kind of test those things out in a like actual game like setting. And I am once again happy with where everything is at. And I can say that I can go out there, play my game because I know I've put in the work in the season, off season, and summer, honestly. So uh yeah, last season was pretty good. Third best in the Sun Belt is cool, especially as a sophomore. But I'm definitely still hungry. So
I
yeah,
love it. I love
yeah.
it. I love it. I asked that question hoping that was the answer I was going to get. So that
For
is awesome.
sure. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So you had a strong season. I know a stronger season coming up. I do have another question a little bit later about how the team is approaching the season. So maybe you
Yeah.
can kind of expand on that a little later. But we'll go into what's happening this weekend, which is you guys are hosting the Panther Invitational, as I previously mentioned. But then you guys won't host another home game for almost an entire month, right? So you're going to be on the road a bunch, about 3 or 4 weekends in a row there. So how are you guys viewing this first part of the season with being gone so much, and being on the road and hosting an invitational yourself? How are you guys viewing this and planning on using this part of the season as an opportunity to grow and get off to a hard start being in these tough environments?
Yes. So I am really excited that our first weekend is home. I think we've had that my past 2 years here too. So I like that a lot of parents come out, a lot of teams come out. Like it's just a really cool environment to play in. So first of all, I'm really excited about that. But also we just kind of want to show everyone that what we've been doing, what we're about now, because like the returners this past spring, I think we faced just about everything you could imagine. Like um just like all this adversity, and we honestly did overcome it. Like when we were going through it, we were like, dang, like this is a tough time right now. But I mean, now I feel incredibly prepared for season. All the newbies, we got them in the summer, thankfully. So been able to create those relationships early with them. And I think our team dynamic is really something else now. So I think it will be great to have that. But we just really want to come out and show like what we've been doing because we've been grinding. And I think everyone's really excited to get on the court, show kind of like the new Georgia State volleyball, just because, like I said, lots of personnel changes. So that should be super exciting. But being on the road last year, I think we had 5 weekends in the row, like on the road in a row. So we're definitely experienced when it comes to traveling. So I think that just like even especially now we want to come out with like come out hot at home so people are excited like, oh, like we have to wait this long like until we get to see them again. So just kind of come out, do our thing, and then go on the road, take care of those, come back, and hopefully everyone's excited to come out and see us again just based off of this weekend.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be some road warriors, and
Yeah.
I'm excited for the season. But man, you're getting me pumped over here. I don't know if I've ever been excited for a volleyball season. So this is
Let's
I'm
go.
pumped. So this is gonna be a fun one.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so moving on a little bit, gotta compliment you again. You had 472 digs last season, which is actually the best for ninth all time in one season at the school. So, do you have your eyes set on 582, which would be the record
Yeah.
this year, or is it something you have honestly put any thought into at all, or what's your plan here on that?
I'd definitely be lying if I said I haven't thought about it. I think I was one short of eighth, which honestly is so frustrating last year. Or maybe one, maybe a little bit more, but I was definitely very close to eighth. So that alone is kind of frustrating just because, like, I mean, come on, like it's right there.
Right.
But I wouldn't say it's been my main goal, but it is definitely something that I think would be amazing to accomplish. I didn't even know that I was close to the record until I think I hit 10th. And then at like when we went to the conference tourney, I think I hit ninth there. But I had no idea until they posted something on the website and on the Instagram. So the surprise was kind of really cool. I'm not gonna lie. But now knowing that, like I said, I'm definitely hungry. I am someone who um like it really just I'm incredibly competitive if you can't tell. I mean, how can I not be with my family? So, even with myself, like my first personal goal would be probably to break my own. Like, and then maybe at 582 one season, who knows? I don't know, but hopefully I can also surpass the 1000 digs, just like career digs mark this year. That would be cool. I think in the 500s, maybe something like that, but definitely looking to hit that this year. But I wouldn't say it's my main goal, but I have thought about it a little bit. So yeah.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Honestly, so many times when athletes get asked about those like individual records, they always say they never think about it or anything. So I respect you being honest about it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
And hey, I believe you too that it's not your main goal. I know the main goal is winning a Sun Belt championship
For
and
sure.
all that, getting back into the NCAA tournament and whatnot. So,
Yes.
but hey, I appreciate the honesty. Um, cool. So just a couple more questions and we'll get you out of here. This next one is, as I kind of said before, I had a question about the team. It's no secret that last year didn't really turn out the way that most would have wanted. But what have you guys done this offseason to make sure that the 2023 season is a much more successful season for the Panthers? I know you were kind of talking about that you've been grinding, got the newbies in. So kind of, I guess, just expand on that a little bit, maybe
Yeah.
some of the relationships that you guys have built and just kind of what this season will mean to all of you guys.
Yeah. So I accidentally kind of started answering that.
But
So
that's okay.
sorry
That's
about
okay.
that.
That's okay.
Yeah. But like I said, I mean, volleyball wise, we've been grinding definitely. We had open gyms all summer, but we started lifting 6:30 a.m. till maybe 8 and then practice 8 to 10 and then condition right after that. So we've definitely been putting the physical work into it, but I think a lot of it has come down to the team culture like I said. In spring, personnel changes. We had 9 of us at one point, including Aaliyah who graduated early, so kind of 8 returners almost, but we really went through it, put in a lot of work, had a lot of team meetings, and we did this thing that was kind of fun. I had never really thought of it like or heard of it, but Hutch had us do these friend dates. So like we would go on a little friendship date off campus with every person. And so we did that as returners all spring. And at first we were kind of a little skeptical about it, but I can say that it brought us like super close as a team. Even in our spring scrimmages, like it was a whole different vibe on the court, like very united. And it was pretty cool. So then come summer, everyone who's new gets here and we do the exact same thing. So they went on 16 or whatever it was, they went on them with all the returners and the other freshmen, and then we just went on it with the freshmen. And we did lots of team pool days. Like we did the kind of the whole thing because we had some other athletes here on campus, but it was mainly us. So we really wanted to make sure we took the time to get the team culture down because last year, I mean, in several years, like we've had talent here and there, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything when everyone's playing as an individual. So this year we've like really honed in on our team culture, and now we're trying to build um, our discipline up. Just make sure that no details are overlooked, and when we get on the court, we can just go into a flow and just go ball out. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. No, that's a quote, Livy. That's a good one. The team, playing as individuals, and now that you guys are united as a team, like hey, you guys, I got a good feeling about this squad. I got a
Yeah,
good feeling
yeah.
about this squad. Cool. So yeah, we'll get you out of here on this question. This one is definitely not a little off topic, not volleyball related, but always love. This is another question that I've asked a lot of student athletes. So I love hearing your guys' answer on this one. So I'll kind of paint the picture here for you a little bit. The whole team is on the bus, coaches included. You're going to be on in the bus for the next about 3 hours, and Livy's got control of the aux cord. All right. So what kind of music? What kind of artist, maybe podcast, if that's your whole gist or vibe. What are you going to be playing for the team and coaches? Remember, the coaches are on board
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And I guess to expand, because I had someone ask me this, it doesn't necessarily have to be like your favorite. It can be a combination of like what you think the team would vibe with and what you like. So, or you can just pick your favorite and screw the team. It's yeah, just wanted to let you know you got freedom on your answer here.
Okay. I really like that question. I'm usually the friend that's on aux, so you
Okay.
got me thinking for sure. It's kind of fun to try and read an audience and see. So I definitely would lean towards trying to make the most people happy. I mean, there's going to be a few people who want country, and I mean, don't get me wrong, love country over here, but like I know the team that's not going to work. So obviously we'll go clean music because Hutch and all the other coaches are on there. But I think if it's 3 hours, gonna have to be a mix of genres. Start out maybe with some more chill rap, like nothing crazy, more like Kendrick type beat.
Like it.
And then kind of as we get closer, I'd say pick it up a little bit, throw in some throwbacks like Warren G, some of the old school rappers for Hutch because we have a few of those on our practice playlist, and every time one of them comes on, Hutch is like, "Oh, great song." So, and also fun little side note, in the summer we did these 2 minute to win it, or we did minute to win it games with two different teams, and we competed against each other. And one of the subjects was we were guessing the like music before 2000s. We had to guess the band and artist. So Hutch threw in some old ones there, but
Nice.
yeah, yeah. So definitely throw in some oldies. And then I think I'd probably have to wrap it up with something recent of some sort. Our team loves to lift to Meg the Stallion and all those artists. So probably like as I don't know what our destination is. I don't know if it's like a serve and pass or we're getting closer to a game time, but definitely got to get like the blood flowing, maybe some Meg clean, of course, something like that. Because I know our team loves it. But I would say we like start out a little chill, throw in some old ones that Hutch is like, oh, great song, and then pick it up for the team.
I love it. I love it. Hey, maybe if you throw some old ones for Hutch, he'll let you play the dirty version of Meg's songs.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
see. And hey, I saw Meg at Music Midtown a couple of years ago, and it was like a religious experience. So I'm
Yeah.
right there with you guys. Big Meg Thee Stallion fan.
Yes.
So that's awesome. That's awesome. That was an incredible answer, Livy.
Thank you.
I'm not getting down on my previous guess, but that was an expansive answer. I love
Let's
that. That was perfect.
go.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Cool. So yeah. So like I said, we'll get you out of here on that one, Livy. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to talk to you and know you better.
Yeah.
After what you've said, I am very confident you guys are going to have an amazing season this year, especially you individually. I know that
Thank you.
record, it'll be broken. Maybe this year you'll get to like third or fourth. Senior year, you'll break it. I guarantee.
Thanks.
But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you again, Livy. Good luck this weekend, and yeah, thank
Thank you. It was my pleasure. It was fun.
of course, of course. Well, Panther family, be looking out for the next episode, and as always, go Panthers.